Well, and we'll get started momentarily as soon as it fires up. But hey, listen, I appreciate you being out here tonight. Someone asked you to come out and learn more about the David Allen Capital broker opportunity. And it's my honor and privilege to share with you our opportunity. My name is David Rutz. I happen to be the founder of DAC. And so tonight I'm our speaker, but we're going to have 8 or 9 speakers this evening after me. Um, but the first part of our presentation tonight is our broker overview. Someone asked you to come take a look at our business to find out whether being a broker for DAC is something you want to do. And it's really, do you want to help business owners? Do you want to help business owners get the capital they need to grow because they can't get it, most of them anyway, from their bank? And they can't get it out without giving up a lot of their ownership to someone else. And most businesses you'll see here fail for the lack of being unable to gain access to capital. Well, we've solved that. We've solved that. We've been doing it now 10 years and we've funded thousands of businesses, hundreds of millions of dollars, and we're looking to do more. However, here's the issue. 90% of the businesses in America cannot get funding at their bank. 90%. Most every restaurant you walk into can't get funding at their bank. Most every dry cleaner, most every donut shop, coffee shop, nope. Every landscape company, nope. The only way you can get funding from your bank is if you have collateral to put up, just like you can't get a house loan unless you have a house to put up as collateral. Well, you can't get a business loan unless you own property to put up as collateral. And you're going to see that in our slideshow in a minute. But I want to share there's over 9 million businesses today who can't get funding from their bank and need funding. And you know what? We're leading the way in helping them. And you're going to see that you have an opportunity to come join our company, DAC, and help support those 9 million businesses. Full-time income is available, but yet you can start part-time. There's no investment required at all, yet you can make money as if you've invested millions. This is a very serious opportunity. We're 10 years old. It's not fly by night. We've continued to grow and grow and grow, but we need more brokers who want to help us help the front line of capitalism. So let me share my screen and we'll go through a slideshow with you quickly so that you can, okay, I got my screen up, got the right slide, front line of capitalism right there, right? Business loan brokers funding the front line of capitalism. And it's got that little 10-year tag that was put on there today because it's brand new today. We're now 10 years old and we're very proud of that. But you can serve business owners, build an agency, and get paid to do both. Now, this is a big opportunity to serve business owners, like I've already said, and scale your income. Why? They need funding. The banks say no. We've got a platform that delivers the best offer. You can earn commissions fast, and you can even build a scalable agency if you want. Why professionals are joining DAC? No license required, yet we require a certification of all of our brokers. It's a self-certified course. Zero cost to you to launch except your time, your commitment, your integrity. You're paid fast. You can literally earn commissions this week. You can build a scalable agency if you want, and it's remote ready, mobile friendly. You can build it anywhere in the United States, right from your home. You and a growing agency can build a scalable income stream. As an example, our average funding in August is over $100,000. We funded a lot of businesses this month. They average over 100,000. Well, let's say you helped a business get $80,000. Maybe you'd earn 3,200 bucks, paid a few days later. One of your personal brokers, if you did build an agency team, maybe they get a client and earn that 3,200, and maybe you'll make 320, 400, 500, over 1,000. Depends on your position with the company. What if you had 10, 50, 100 brokers? Do the math. This is a nationwide agency ability, no territory except United States. What does a DAC broker actually do? Simple. Refer businesses who need capital to our funding platform. Our experts take over, take care of your customer for you, present the offer, fund the offer, do everything that's involved once you refer the lead to your website, and you earn on all your deals and your agency deals. Now, we don't like marketing debt. We like marketing leverage. The reason I say this is there's a lot of people, including me, who do not like debt, but I love leverage. What's the difference? Well, debt is money business owners take and blow. Leverage is money business owners take to grow. What if you can get 100 grand and turn it into $200,000 in new revenue? Well, that's a good move. Get 100 grand and just pay off some bills and take a vacation and blah, 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 blah. And now you owe 130 back. That's not a good use of money, right? So we're here to help businesses grow. We call them fuel plays. As an example, you got one location, you want multiple locations. You need inventory discounts. You want to start selling swag out of your ice cream shop or adding soft serve, and you've got one store, but it's outdated. You want to update it, and so you can charge more prices at your restaurant, etc. You got to double your crew size, or maybe you want to expand your seating. This is happening in our town right now. Or maybe you're a construction company and you want to say yes to some jobs, but you don't have the money to buy all the materials in advance. These are real fuel plays here. In fact, these are the first 7 clients of David Allen Capital from 2015. The first 7 clients, you're looking at them right there. Real life examples of why people need funding. Now, not all leverage plays are fuel plays. Some of them are rescue plays. You know, a business is in a tough pinch and we're going to help them get through the pinch. Like they're about to be evicted because they're behind on their rent and the restaurant closes if they don't have a building, or they've got equipment that broke down and they can't do the work. Next to my house right now, they're remodeling, or not remodeling, they're building a brand new home and they're putting in a beautiful retainer wall with built boulders. Well, I'm looking at these big, heavy trucks out there. One of them breaks down, they can't build that wall. They need to repair it quick. Maybe they got to cover payroll, or they're out of inventory, or they have a tax issue, or a budget issue, or a legal issue. See, it doesn't matter what the pinch is. Some businesses just get in a pinch. They got a good business, but they're in a pinch. And you can come along and help solve that pinch. The cost of our capital is less than the cost of their pinch. Then they should proceed, right? So these are what we market. Fuel plays or rescue plays. 90% of our offers are fuel play, leverage plays. But why business funding? Why'd we choose business funding? Well, I'm a business owner. I was a business owner who couldn't get funding from his bank because I didn't own collateral. I had to sell my company because I couldn't afford the growth path we were on. I was one of those businesses. Then I learned of this type of funding that you're about to hear about after I had sold that business. And I said, if I ever start another business, I'm going to market that funding because I want to help business owners all over the country. That was in 2015. Here we are today. Millions of business owners still can't get funding. Business owners are the most underserved funding market in North America. There's 30 million small businesses, 27 million aren't bank eligible. And guess what? Most of them are going to fail, but you can be the difference between them growing or closing. Why? Because they themselves say their number one reason for failure is lack of access to capital. Why did I have to sell my business? Lack of access to capital. We were profitable. We were growing. We were growing super fast. That caused a problem. Got to buy inventory. Can't afford the inventory for 6 months from now when I've only got this month's sales. So I had to partner with a bigger company to, or shut the company down or stop the sales. That's sad, but that's why this company exists. You say, wait a minute, isn't that what the bank's for? Hey, banks are great. But banks only approve about 10% of the businesses out there for the reasons I already mentioned. You say, why are they rejecting so many? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, because you got to have collateral. Most business owners don't have collateral. And then if you do, then you need 2 years profitable tax return, FICO score, off the shelf, business plan approval required, long complex app, 1 to 3 months just to find out if you're approved. And there's less than 1 million businesses in North America today who can qualify for a traditional business bank loan. Less than 1 million. Okay, so what did we do? We already said there's 30 million businesses. Well, we learned of an alternative funding industry called alternative capital. It's the solution to the problem. Why you don't need collateral, number one. Okay, do you got to be profitable for 2 years? No. You just need at least 15K a month in sales the last 3 months. Each of the last 3 months, 15,000 a month in sales. Most businesses qualify for that. And you don't need a 700 FICO score because most business owners have hurt their credit by growing their business. And you can use the funds freely as you want. There's a simple 5-minute online application, and you get funds in one business day. Over 9 million businesses qualify for what you see on the screen there. But look at the little black print, plus 20 million other businesses who aren't doing 15,000 a month yet. They're doing 3 to 15,000. The DoorDash driver, or the food truck, or the small tanning salon that doesn't have a lot of customers yet. They're only doing 10 or $15,000 a month. All of those we can help with our instant funding product, but we're focused on our 15,000 a month and up 9 million businesses. So this industry, it's huge and it's growing over $300 billion a year. And most businesses don't even know it exists. What if they did? Well, as they learn, it grows, and it's expected to grow 100 billion in the next year to 2 years. So that's a massive growing industry. We're not downsizing, we're upsizing, right? And here's the issue: we don't have enough brokers. Our first goal at DAC is to get 1% of this market, which would just be $3 billion a year in funding. That's over 210 million in broker commissions, but we need more brokers to make that happen. As a comparison, real estate today, there's not 9 million homes sold a year. There's only about 4 million, and there's over 3 million licensed agents. 3 million licensed agents, 4 million homes. There's 9 million businesses that need funding. There's not even 100,000 brokers. That's called opportunity, guys, gals. Here's the problem with alternative capital: it's great funding, but there's no one lender that's best for every business. Okay. In fact, there's over 100 providers. Many of them are not good. You wouldn't want to borrow money from some of them. But there's about 20 that are really, really good. Some publicly traded, some billion-dollar companies. They're really good. They're the ones we deal with. Okay. But even amongst the top 20, there isn't one that's best for every business. Why? Because some love certain industries that don't love others. Some love certain sales amounts, not others. Some love certain time in business, not others. Or they may want a bunch of restaurants in August, but then in September they want to move out of the restaurant business because they funded a bunch of restaurants in August. And so they want to fund maybe real estate or landscape companies or construction, diversify, right? In case there's a big downtrend in an industry. So there's not one lender best for everybody. So if you're only one lender, you're not the best for every customer. You can't be. It's like one airline being the best for everybody, and you want to fly Saturday at 9 a.m. There isn't one airline best for everybody Saturday at 9 a.m. It depends on what city you live in, right? Or how much you want to pay, or all kinds of things. So, how do we solve that? We did solve it. We solved it by launching a funding platform, an online funding platform called Bank Breezy, where they fill out one application. We then put them in front of those top 20 funders, almost like Travelocity does for airlines. They get their best offer quickly. Now, it takes a lot of work from our internal team. So they fill out this app, 20 plus providers compete, give the best offers to our expert team. Our expert team then tells your client the best offer. It's delivered in one business day. Now they get to choose what offers best for them. It's a simple and convenient solution for the 90%. And we even have instant funding for those, 20 million small businesses through Bank Breezy as well. So, okay, you go, all right. So you got the problem is businesses can't get funding. You got the solution, alternative capital. You got the problem. There's a lot of good alternative capital providers, and not all of, and even amongst the good ones, there's not one that's best for everybody. So you got to know where to apply. You don't even know there's 20 providers. And you don't know who the best 20 are. You might get a bad one online or something. And so we come along and say, okay, we're going to tell you about the alternative capital industry. We're going to tell you about the best offer from 20 top providers through our Bank Breezy online funding platform. You only have to fill out one app. You don't have to fill out 20, but yeah, we're going to get the best offer. They know that they're competing, so they give the best offer. They know we're not presenting their offer. One lender, On Deck Lending, billion-dollar company, been around for years, one of the biggest in the world. Guess what? They don't present the best offer all the time. Sometimes they do, but they love dealing with us, even though not every offer they give us is going to get to the client. Because unless it's the best offer, we don't tell the client about it. They know that. So what do? They give us their best offer to land the deal. Who wins from that? The customer wins. You win as the broker because you can go to market saying, I'm delivering the best offer. Okay, so what kind of offers do they get? Well, it's not bank rates, because they're not eligible for bank rates, of course. So it's going to cost more than a bank. It's higher risk. There's no recourse. If they don't pay, well, there's recourse, but there's no collateral that the bank can easily just take that house from them, right? But we still do pretty darn good. Check this out. We are the first product we lead with is called Core Rate Preferred Funding. That generally what the offer is about 1 to 2 times their monthly sales. So if they're doing 100,000 a month in sales, we'll get them 100 to 200K. Now, you just heard me say earlier that our average funding in August, since we launched these new products, is $100,000. Our average. We're doing 20,000 and 10,000s and 5,000s, yet our average is 100 because this core rate product was introduced. Because our core rate is really averaging about 200 and 300 and 400,000. And we got a lot of smaller ones as well. But the rates, you say, well, what does it cost? Here's how it's easy to cost. What does 8% of something mean? What is 8% compounded monthly versus compounded daily? What's 8% compounded annually versus monthly? Right? So it's confusing. So you know what we say? We don't talk rates. We started doing something 10 years ago that now some of the states are getting behind and backing, which is present the cost money wise. Tell them what it's going to cost in dollars and cents. We've been doing that since 2015. As an example, you get $100,000, you're going to pay back 1.15 to 1.25 times what you get. In other words, if you got 100K, you're paying back 115 to 125K. How much? What's the rate? Doesn't matter. $20,000. It's costing you, Fred. Can you hand? Do you want the $20,000 cost? What are you going to do with the 100 grand? Are you going to turn it into 300,000? You don't mind paying back 25K. What's the rate? $25,000. And we've been doing this since 2015 because we're doing all these deals over the phone. And now states are regulating. Texas, as of September 1st, is requiring everybody who's presenting an offer presents it the way we do. We've been doing it on our own since 2015 because it's the path of least resistance with clients. They understand it. Now, the requirements for core rate is a little more difficult than what I shared earlier. You need 2 years in business, not 6 months. You need 15,000 a month in sales still, but you need a 680 FICO score. Now, we always lead with the core rate product, but if they don't qualify, we have other options. We have what's called flex rate. Flex rate is where we get the marketplace best offer from all our top providers. The approval amounts are lower, usually a half to 1 times their monthly sales. So if they're doing 20,000 a month, maybe they'll only get a funding at 10 to 20K. The cost of capital is more. It's 26 cents to 50 cents per dollar. So an example, they get 50K, they're repaying 63 to 75. But let's look at the most expensive costs we have. By the way, look at the requirements. They're a lot easier. These are what we showed you earlier, right? So over 80% of the people who meet those qualifications right there will get a funding offer. They may say no to it, but they'll get an offer. We're not going to decline them. They may decline the offer if their use of funds isn't better. See, what we say is the benefits of the money, does it outweigh the cost? Let's use common sense. Let's use our worst case pricing. I was talking to one of our guys about this today. Let's use our worst case pricing, 50 cents on the dollar. You get 100,000, you got to pay back 150. What are you doing with the 100,000? That's what determines whether this money's expensive. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Then it's super expensive. Heck, paying 10,000 back on 100,000 is super expensive if you don't know what you're doing with the money, right? Any interest would be expensive. But what if you're taking that 100,000 to build a second location for your donut shop or your coffee shop, and that's going to double your profit? Instead of making 100,000 a year, you're going to make 200,000 a year, and you're going to generate another 700,000 in sales by opening that second location. Now, does that $100,000 paying back 150 over 12 months, is that expensive now? No, your future sales pay it off. So then it's super smart. You didn't have to give up any ownership. You have a second location, and we funded it. It's called leverage. We do it every day. We did our biggest funding last week, $2.55 million. No collateral put up by the business. Approved in 48 hours. Funded 3 days later only because they had to make some decisions on things. It wasn't us, it was them. Could you imagine going to a local bank and getting $1 million, getting $100,000 in one business day on a business loan? It takes 5 weeks. Yeah, it'll cost less if you're willing to wait 5 weeks and you got the collateral to put up. See, we come along and we help banks and banks help us. Because banks don't like saying no to their clients. We can help fund those clients. And if someone's bankable but can't wait, we help them today. So remember, we don't determine the cost of the funds, but we guarantee the best offer because we're not the bank. The bank's giving the offers. We're just presenting it. And that image there on the bottom left is showing, hey, they got those red ones are declines. Those are business buildings. Those red ones got declines. The green ones were all approved. But look at that one at 1 o'clock. That was the best approval, and they wanted the best approval. If we don't give the best offer, we give your client $500. You get to go to market with that as a broker with us. 4.6 rating on Trustpilot right now. Nationwide business, 10 years strong, experienced leadership with a heart for helping businesses. All of our corporate team does, and all of our field leaders do. We launched Bank Breezy platform, over 300, in fact, that's almost 400,000 businesses now served. Broker impact. Here's where you come in, team. We've got the product. There's a need in the marketplace. That's not up for debate. The question is, do you want to be a broker with us? We need 100,000 active brokers to serve the market. We don't even have 10,000 active brokers right now. We don't even have 5,000 active brokers right now. Okay. We're moving. Now we've had 70,000 join in our history. But just like in the real estate industry, it's 50% of the real estate agents who get licensed never sell a home and stop doing real estate. We have the same thing. Anytime you have a performance business without a salary, people got to deliver or they quit, right? We give the product, you can deliver, but hey, if you're if you're kind of scared of performance based culture, then being a business owner is not for you. Being a broker in something is not for you. Being paid on commission is not for you. You already know that, right? But if you are into serving people and you're into helping businesses and you're into, hey, no income ceiling, I can make a 500,000 in 2025 without a salary. Yeah. Has anyone done that yet in 6 months? No. Can you? Yeah. You'll see the payment. It's performance, right? How much funding can you do? You get paid on the funding, as you'll see. We give you all the websites you need so your clients. These all convert. The websites are free. They go through the website. They just fill out this quick online application, and then the internal team takes over from there, presents the offer to your clients, and they get funded. Yeah, you're paid commissions within a week generally after that. We give you social posts to share, even videos to share to help drive your competition. That's my wife there. She loves talking about DAC too. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter how well we've done. A lot of our brokers have never gotten a client. And it's not because the product isn't the best funding product out there. It's because you got to talk to business owners and they got to believe in you, right? So we teach you how, but you got to do your part. So business success doesn't start with DAC. It starts with you. DAC's already set the platform. We've already got the standard. We already help 80% of the businesses who apply with us get approved. 80% of them take the offer. Our average funding in August was over 100,000. We have almost doubled in the last 90 days because of modifications and improvements we've made. We've got the business figured out, but that doesn't mean you'll make money. But if you're a professional broker or you'll become a professional broker, the sky's the limit. We've got other services, payment processing, and some healthcare, but our instant gig funding, but our core product is right there, business funding. We say up to 2 million. We just did a $2.5 million deal last week, so we might have to change that slide. But it's the biggest we've done. Prior to that, it was only 1.5 million. So most of these fundings are under $1 million. It's very rare to get one over 1 million. I think we've only had 5 or 6 in our history. It's like one every 2 years, so it's rare. But as we get bigger, as we have more brokers, we'll have more of those, of course. So let's talk compensation. But before I do, I've spent a lot of time telling you about the need in the marketplace, also the difficulty because it's a performance-based culture, no salary, it's all commission-based. But I've also said the upside potential is amazing, right? So let's just talk about how you get paid. You have a nationwide territory. Fund a client, get paid the next day. It's fast as the next day. We pay you the day after we're paid. Sometimes we're paid the next day. Sometimes we're paid the next week. The longest we've ever gotten paid is a month later, and then you're paid a month and 1 day. Those are on the big giant ones, right? Because there's a clawback risk, they call it. They don't want to pay us commission until 30 days later because if the client defaults, they take the commission back. Well, on a huge deal, that's a big risk to everybody. We've had less than 25 clawbacks in our history on thousands of fundings. So it's very rare, but it does happen. But Get a funding fast equals fast income. So let me give you an example. Hang on, I got to move this Zoom window. I wish Zoom allowed us to just hide their window because then I wouldn't have to worry about seeing and having my screen covered. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Every funding equals fast income. You earn 40 to 80% of bonus revenue. That's what you earn as a certified broker. In other words, you help someone get 100,000, maybe that's 8,000 bonus revenue. Bonus revenue is the amount we are paying out in commissions. It's based on what we earn. It's almost 100% of what we earn, right? It's a large amount. We pay out 40 to 80% of that to you for getting the client. So if it's 8,000 bonus revenue, you would make 3,200 to 6,400 bucks. Maybe the bonus revenue is lower because it's a core rate product and we earn a lot less. So on that product, 40% to 80% would only be 1,600 to 3,200. Same $100,000 funding, or maybe it's a higher bonus revenue. The maximum is 10% of what the funding amount is, and you earn 40 to 80% of that, 4 to 8,000. So same $100,000 funding. What determines this is the pricing of the funding for the client generally. All right. The better the pricing, the lower the profit, right? And core rate is always lower profit, like on the right. But you can see even on the right, $1,600 to $3,200. Pretty darn spectacular. Now, you say, well, how do you wait? How do you determine between 40 and 80%? You determine it. We don't. We put a stair step out there. You determine where you are. As you get started, you got to go through certification. It takes about 3 hours of training, answering some questions. You become certified. If you don't want to do that, you don't join DAC. If you do that, you become certified. Now you're a certified broker. You're then making 40%. If you don't do that, you're just called a referral partner and you only make 10%. So, assuming you're not going to do this unless you're going to become a certified broker, you do so. But now, as you get clients, you move up the ladder. From a general agency, you move up to GA 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then you become a managing general agency, and then a supervisor general agency. And then you can become a national marketing organization by getting certain clients. So, it's a certain number of clients with a certain amount of funding volume or bonus revenue. It climbs you up the ladder. So as an example, if you had 2 clients and a certain amount of bonus revenue, you're at 50%. 7 clients and a certain amount, you're at 60%. And as you keep growing to get to the top of the ladder, you would need 20 clients and a certain amount of bonus revenue. All right. It's not easy. It takes some time, but eventually you can get there. And now you're making 80% instead of 40. Okay. But here's the cool thing. The market needs more brokers. As I said, it's underserved, it's undersaturated. It's unbelievable timing. Real estate, as I mentioned earlier, 4.7 million homes sold to 3 million licensed agents. It's competitive. You can do very well. It's a great market opportunity still. However, look at our timing. 9 million businesses, not 4.7, 100,000 brokers only, not 10 million, not 3 million, not 1 million, not a half a million, 100,000. You know how many clients there are per broker? Right there. 90 business fundings per broker, not 1.58, 90. Unbelievable, crazy good. And this does not count the 20 million instant funding business that exists either. We need more agents. You can build an agency. And how do you build an agency is you can enroll other brokers on your agency team. As you do this, you get paid. What you earn is you earn enroller and you earn override spread. What does that mean? Let's say you enroll me. I'm a broker. I'm certified. I'm at the 40% level. I help someone get 100 grand, 8,000 bonus revenue. I make 40% of that. I make $3,200. I'm happy. The business is happy. This is spectacular. You, for enrolling me, you make a 4% of bonus revenue enroller commission. Well, what's 4% times the 8,000 bonus revenue? 320 bucks you make. Good for you. Congratulations. My client, not yours. Okay, but you're helping me. You're supporting me. But you also get the override spread, which is the difference between where you're at, 60%, and where I'm at, 40%. So you're going to make 20% more of that 8,000 bonus revenue is 1,600 bucks. So you made $1,920 on my client. How many of me do you want? So as you climb the personal customer ladder, you earn more on your own clients, but you also earn more override spread on your agency's clients. And this isn't just on the people you personally enroll, because guess what? It doesn't stop there. In addition to the override spreads, we have a 5-level agency pay because the people you refer are going to refer others. And then we have a leadership override. When you reach the 80% level, and you help someone else reach the 80% level, they cut you out of the override spread, right? So you still get the 5 level pay on it, but we have something else now called a leadership bonus of 2% comes to you on their entire team. And even if they break another one, we pay you. So here's your income summary. You get personal commissions. This is the driver of your business. If you stay at 40%, your override spreads are minimal. How do you get to 50 and 60 and 70? Get more customers yourself. That's all. So personal commissions and override spread is the foundation of our business. But you also can get leadership overrides by getting to the 80% level. Our goal, your goal should have 10 to 20 people at the 80% level you've personally enrolled. You'd be sickening. 500,000 to $1 million a year in income, more than likely. 5 level agency you get as well, you can qualify for, but personal commission on the far left, you're in control of. As you drive that, all the rest follows. As you drive that, all the rest follows. They're like trailers on the back of your speedster. Hook that baby on, you drive the vehicle, the rest follows and grows as you go. Training and extras, real quick, we have complimentary training ready to go business system. We have got a back office, we got a certification learning management system, we got promo ready tools, we got this funding platform that businesses would have to pay thousands of dollars to create, and it's all free for you as brokers. We've got a great support team, our Facebook team. We've got live daily coaching. We're launching a live sales call. We got real support, real people. Leaders win. Your broker leaders who are here before you earning override spreads, they only earn if you earn. You're never flying blind and never flying alone. And we don't make a dime until you make a dollar. That's our guarantee. So we offer a better way to serve those business owners. You're not having to pay a fee, not a license, not a franchise, not an application fee, not a funding fee. A percentage of the funding doesn't go to the funding team for doing it. We've got all that covered. You go out and produce and you earn. When you win, we win. In summary, you can scale this 9 million businesses plus the 20 million instant funders. Small business solution, proven platform, expert support. And the bottom line is it's a real solution with real need out there and with real impact. You can make a difference, create your own money machine fast, monthly, paid on teams, and you're never alone. And if you can follow a system and talk to business owners, this works. No barriers, no excuses, part-time, no license, zero to launch, work anywhere. You can launch in one day. So as I said earlier, this is already working. We're already funding thousands of businesses. We already have thousands of applications, but we're just scratching the surface, team. We've proven the model enough. You know, I drive a Tesla right now. It was proven enough that I thought I could drive one. Right now, I've had it 2 years and I'd recommend it to everybody. You don't have to love Teslas and you don't have to hate me that I do. I'm just saying I've proven it. I've driven all over the country and it's fine. Guess what else has been proven? This business. This business has been proven. Your clients will be taken care of. We are going to keep funding. We're going to hit that 100,000 licensed broker or certified broker mark. We're going to hit it one day. And as we hit it, we will be the dominating monopolized marketplace funder. We'll be the Rocket Mortgage of business funding. There's no question. God willing, that's going to happen. So that's where we believe we're going. We're 10 years old. The next 10 years, we think we can exponentially multiply massively, but that doesn't mean it's great for you. Where do you stand? Not for you? Tell me more or let's go. Right? Well, what I want to do is first thank those who aren't interested, but you probably already left. So if you haven't left and you're not interested, hey, thanks for watching. Refer a client to a friend who's here, whoever referred you. What we tell them to do in strategy is introduce this to the best people you know, the most ambitious, outgoing, integrous people you know, the ones who have mental toughness, who would be good in business for themselves. Introduce them. So they thought of you. So at least thank them for that. Refer a client or two. But for those who said, hey, this is for me or I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to show you real quick 4 steps of starting. Take me literally 2 minutes. Get started. Whoever referred you is going to give you their link. And you can get started right there. It's not in your training center, sorry. They're going to send you a link to get started. Theirs is in their training center, and they'll send it to you. If you're watching this on video, it's right on the webpage you're on. Get certified. Watch for the invite email that's going to come your way. You want to go get certified right away. That's what gets you positioned to start talking to clients and earning as a certified broker. And then share the platform, share the funding platform. We'll teach you how in the certification, what's the benefits of our funding, what's the qualifications, why, when they should use this, when they shouldn't. and then get yourself positioned, support clients, and climb up that ladder. That's what you want to be doing. And the last thing I'd say is choose your path to success. Do you want to be a solo broker, a broker enroller, or an agency builder? All three paths exist here. The path on the left, no responsibilities except getting clients. You can earn well. Path in the middle is build a small agency team, earn some nice overrides, and build your own personal brokerage as well. Super broker with some other agents or brokers you mentor. Or an agency builder, someone says, hey, I'm looking at many cities and opening many cities. Which path fits your best? Just let them know. Okay. We thank you for attending. Get with the person who referred you, and they'll get you started. But we've got a special meeting tonight. I'm a few minutes over. We got a special meeting tonight. But before I get into that, if you're brand new tonight, whoever referred you, let's get started. Just get started. If it's not for you, you quit. But I would instead say you don't think it's for you, don't even join. But if you join, give it time. Give it time to learn how to have the conversations with businesses. And if you talk to business owners you know in your community, you're gonna have a lot of success. 6 out of 10 business owners out there will need money this year. 6 out of 10 will need money this year who can't get it out of their bank. 6 out of 10. Now, maybe you'll talk to the local pizzeria and they won't need it right now, but they'll need it in February and they'll know that you're in business funding. So as you plant seeds and you inform business owners, you're setting up for a future funding client. All right. So I thank you for attending and I appreciate all of you who've taken the time to attend. What we're going to do now is we're going to move into our 10-year anniversary celebration because that's what many of you are here to see now.